Hey, how you doing today? I am Tequila Coleman. In today's video, we're going to talk about the real reason or what's really behind the sadness and the broken heart. What's really going on here? I want to show you what the Lord just revealed to me. I was reading in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 13, and it's talking about false prophets condemned. Now, let me say this, okay? You can be a true prophet of God, but the minute you begin to prophesy out of your own imagination, that's what makes you false. Okay. And I'm going to show you this in scripture. When you begin to speak dreams and visions that came from your spirit and not from God, that makes the true prophet now false. Okay. And what you're speaking, so if you say the Lord said and the Lord has not spoken what you're saying that the Lord said, now you are bringing grief upon the people of God. Now you're moving the people to sadness. Now they suffering from a broken heart because what you said, what you imagine in your own mind is not going to come to pass. So if you prophesying things that the Lord hasn't spoken to you and you sharing this with your community, you can have intentions on, oh, I want to encourage the people. But if God didn't say it, even though your words in that moment may bring encouragement to the community, if the Lord didn't say this and you prophesying from your own imagination, from your own spirit, and you got these people hopes up and they thinking, what you said is going to come to pass and it never comes to pass, this is what's now grieving their soul. This is what's now causing them sad. Now it's moving them from being hopeful to now hope deferred, making the heart sick. And the Lord isn't pleased with this. Okay. Now, let's read in Ezekiel chapter 13. Let's start at verse 1. It say, the word of the Lord came to me, son of man, prophesy against the prophets. Let's start right there. Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel. He didn't say prophesy against the false prophets. No, he said prophesy against the prophets of Israel. So these are true prophets of God. Now let's learn why he's telling him to prophesy against the prophets of Israel. It's a son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel who are now prophesying. Say to those who prophesy out of their own imagination. You hear this? Hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Woe to the foolish prophet who followed their own spirit and have seen nothing. Your prophets, Israel, are like jackals among ruin. You have not gone up to the breaches in the wall to repair it for the people of Israel so that it will stand firm in the battle on the day of the Lord. Their visions are false and their divination a lie. So false prophets, they operate in divination. Okay. Divination is when you are getting your prophetic words, your information illegally from these demonic spirits. Okay. Now, when a false prophet delivers a prophetic word, according to this scripture right here, it say their visions are false and their divination is a lie. So even if the false prophet speak a so-called prophetic word, it's still a lie. It's still a lie. So that's where your discernment has to come in at, where you are taking every word that has come out of this person's mouth who you think is a prophet, right? And you taking this word back to God and you asking God, did this come from you? What spirit is speaking through this person who just delivered this prophetic word? Okay. This is how you protect your heart. This is how you protect your soul. Okay. Let's continue to read. It say their vision, this is verse number 6, their vision are false and their divination a lie. Even though the Lord has not sent them, they say, the Lord declares. You see that? The Lord didn't send them. but yet they saying the Lord declares. Now, this is still talking about the true prophets of God. True prophets of God can be in error. They can go forward and say, the Lord said, and he didn't say anything. Okay. Even though the Lord has not sent them, they say the Lord declares and expect him to fulfill their words. You hear that? This is what brings the sadness, the grief upon the people, because you're getting the people hopes up, and the Lord didn't say that, and He's not going to fulfill your false words, and now you just brought grief among the people. Let's continue to read verse 7. Have you not seen false visions and utter lying divination? When you say, the Lord declares, though I have not spoken. So that's divination in itself. Divination is also when you declare that God says something and he didn't say it. Let me read this again. This is verse number 7. Have you not seen false visions and uttered lying divination? When you say, the Lord declares, though I have not spoken. So that's another form of divination. When you say God said and God hasn't said anything to you. When you release a dream and that dream didn't come from the Lord, or when you share your vision and that vision didn't come from the Lord, that's divination. That's witchcraft. Let's continue to read. Verse 8 in Ezekiel 13. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says: because of your false words and lying vision, I am against you, declares the sovereign Lord. My hand will be against the prophets who see false visions and utter lying divination. So God's hand will be against you. They will not belong to the council of my people or be listed in the records of Israel, nor would they enter the land of Israel. Then you will know that I am the sovereign Lord. Verse 10, because they led my people astray. See, when you give false vision, when you releasing prophetic words that came from your own imagination, you are now leading God's people astray. And that's why his hand is going to be against you. Now, it's something I'm looking for. I want to jump over because I want you to continue to read Ezekiel 13, but I want us to jump over here to um verse number 21. Let's start at verse number 21. It say, I will tear off your veils and save my people from your hands, and they will no longer fall prey to your power. Then you will know that I am the Lord, because this is the part right here, verse 22. Because you disheartened the righteous with your lies, when I had brought them no grief. You hear that? This is what the false prophet, okay? When you give a false prophecy, when you say the Lord said and he didn't say anything, and you hoping God is going to fulfill and back your false prophetic word, you are leading the people astray. You're now causing grief to come upon the people, and the people is thinking this is from God. Now the people is thinking, God, is God punishing me? Why is God allowing me to go through all of this suffering? No, it's not God. It's who you listening to that's bringing upon this suffering. Okay, but it say, because you dishearten the righteous with your lies, when I have brought them no grief, and because you encourage the wicked not to turn from their evil ways and so save their lives, therefore you will no longer see false vision or practice divination. I will save my people from your hand, and then you will know that I am the Lord. Okay, so understand, okay, if you are a prophet of God, okay, you have to take your calling serious, okay? Ask God to train you, because you don't want to roll over into giving false prophecies, false vision that's coming from your own imagination. And now as a result, you're grieving the people, you leading the people astray. Now the Lord's hand is against you. Okay, understand, God see that as divination, witchcraft. All right. And so this is why some of you are going through this sadness and broken heart. It has everything to do with who you are listening to and the words you are coming into agreement with. Okay. So take every word, every prophetic word you hear back to the Lord. Take every person you are listening to on YouTube or wherever. Okay, take these people back to the Lord and ask God, who is this? Did you send this person? Is this a true prophet or a false prophet? And even if they are true, you still got to test their words and take it back to the Lord. Okay, this is how we stay in the protection of the Lord. All right, so with that, I am Tequila Coleman. I'll talk to you real soon.